The new voting tool built into Toastmasters websites and any other WordPress for Toastmasters websites is meant to present members with a simple ballot where they can come in and vote. Now, to set this up as the vote counter, and here I'm on my demo site, I would come into a meeting agenda, and I'm logged in here. You do have to be logged in as the vote counter, but the members don't necessarily have to log in. So I go to the vote counters tool here, and somebody else was scheduled to be the vote counter, but apparently that person hasn't shown up. So I'm going to make myself the vote counter. Now, if I was previously signed up to be the vote counter, it would automatically recognize me. But because I wasn't originally on the list as vote counter, I'm going to make myself the vote counter now. And the system actually pulls in the names of people who were signed up on the agenda to speak. So I don't have to type those in. But if maybe Teddy didn't make it to the meeting and somebody else is going to be this week's speaker, one of this week's speakers, so I can add more names. I can open up several additional blanks if I want to add more people. We got a bunch of Jameses, so we can pick James Madison, and now we have 4 speakers. We've actually squeezed in another one on the agenda, and so we need to vote for all 4. So once this is set up, I do have an edit link here if I made a mistake. Maybe I included somebody who is disqualified because of time. I can preview the ballot. But normally what I would do is I would just click here, and that is going to copy to my clipboard the voting link. So I'm going to share that with everyone. And so now all the members can click on that link and go in to vote. So it would be just as I showed you before. We see here that if I voted for speaker, but I haven't voted yet for evaluator, I can switch over to vote for the other contests that were set up for this particular meeting. Now, for table topics, of course, we don't know ahead of time normally who the table topics people are going to be. So again, I would just put in maybe some of my Jameses. So these guys all did table topics, and we'll set that up, and we have another vote. And so as the votes roll in now, we'll be able to see that up top. And if it's a hybrid meeting where I'm collecting votes on paper, there is also a link here so there's check for votes and there's add votes. So if I receive some votes in person, or maybe by text message or some other means because the person couldn't vote online for whatever reason, we can say that there were 3 that came in for George, and 1 that came in for Abe, and we can submit those, and those will be added to the tally along with the votes of the people who actually voted online. So I'll simulate a vote by clicking on this preview link, and we'll put in another vote for Abraham Lincoln. And back on my dashboard here, I'll check for votes. And we'll now see that there are 2 votes for Lincoln. So I've tried to think of most things. I'm sure that as this gets tried by people, they're going to think of things that I didn't anticipate, and this will need to be tweaked more. But I think this might be easier than trying to vote via private chat, which is what my online clubs have been doing up until now, or using the polling feature in Zoom, which has its own peculiarities, such as the co-hosts can't vote without being demoted back to being regular members. And I think you need to be the signed in as the host, actually logged in as the host account in order to set up one of those polls. So that can be kind of awkward. Now, if suppose Claire shows up and she wants to take back the vote counter role, I can also delegate that to her. So now I'm out. Now I'm in here just as a regular member, but I could go in and put in my table topics vote, and Claire would see that on the dashboard as another vote. So I have 2 votes recorded now, and once we get to evaluations in this meeting, I would be able to record that as well. This also works just fine on a mobile phone or on a tablet.